Would you rather be stuck in a forest with a man or a bear?
Bear. Man is scary.
With a bear.
What I've heard about bears, they don't always attack you, right? Unless you like fuck with them. So maybe a bear.
Depends what man, but probably a bear.
Oh, 100% a bear, which is like terrifying to say, but
definitely a bear. Some men are very scary out there.
A bear.
I would say a man.
Let's find the vibrations. What's up, Eliens? It's Simply Elle, and I'm back again with another video. If you're new here, thank you so much for stopping by, and welcome to the Alien gang. And if you're not new here, you know it's the regular madness. It's the regular madness. Thanks for coming back. If you've been online recently, then you've heard about the man versus bear talk. But if you haven't, don't worry, this video is for you. A street interview recently went viral where the interviewer was asking women if they would rather be stuck in the woods with a bear or a man. Their responses might shock you. So all except for one woman said that they would rather be stuck in the woods with a bear instead of a man. Wow. Watch this video to the end if you want to hear my answer to this question. I can guarantee that you never expected it. But before we get into the meat of the video, I have a question to ask you. Have you subscribed to the channel? And if not, what are you waiting for? Click that subscribe button and hit that bell so you don't miss an upload. Now let's get into some business. I see this scenario as a very hyperbolic one. The responses and the question itself. Before we move on, I'd like to refresh everyone's memory on what a hyperbole is. It is the use of exaggeration as a rhetorical device or figure of speech. It emphasizes, evokes strong feelings, and creates strong impression. As a figure of speech, it is usually not meant to be taken literally. A lot of the negative retort to this prompt is due to people taking it way too literally and not really listening. Whereas the women who responded to this question, whether or not they chose the bear, took it for what it was. As nihilistic as it may be, this specific scenario with its hyperbolic rhetoric is being used to make a point. I don't want us to miss that point, intentionally or otherwise. You are not understanding that being deleted is not the worst thing that can happen to somebody. I understand why some women, or the majority, if we're going according to the video, chose the bear over the man. Wait, let me explain. Just calm your body, varabale, okay? And hear me out. For one, it's very telling that the default setting in this scenario is one where the bear would kill you or the man would kill you. Why is a choice between a bear and a man synonymous with being stuck between a rock and a hard place? Think about that and engage in meaningful, good faith discourse about it, preferably with both men and women in the room. Another thing to consider, and why I understand these women's choices, is the chances of running into a bear versus the chances of running into a man. The chances of running into a bear or encountering a bear for a lot of people is much lower than the chances of running into a man. You go outside, there's men everywhere. This subconsciously informs the women's decisions, as women have more negative and violent experiences with men than they do with bears. Okay, we encounter more men than we do bears. And there's a lot of negative experiences that you can say has happened to you between yourself and a man than you can say has happened to you between yourself and a bear. I can tell you firsthand how many negative encounters I've had with men than I can tell you about bears. And I've been hiking before, I've been camping, I've been in the woods before, and I've never encountered a bear or a wild animal. So just understanding this will kind of help you understand why some women chose this decision, because the chances of running into a bear is so slim that it's diluted the perception of danger for some people. You ask a lot of women and they say, I will choose the bear. If you've seen what men has done to me in this life, you will know. You know, that type of thing. Some people will swear down okay, that men are the reincarnation of Satan. That is the experience of some people. But I can understand that not all men. So you can understand why they're saying that their lived experience is what is informing this decision. Next thing is also that it's really impossible to tell which man has good intentions, which man is violent, and which man isn't. It's not until you show your true colors that we can see like, oh, so I should have stayed away from you. Or maybe the guy is a great person. Who knows? You never know. You have to take a chance. You have to take a risk, a gamble. And that's what you really have to do with everybody, including women. But when you're speaking from the perspective of a woman, you have a lot more to fear when it comes to physical strength. That takes me to my next point. A good portion of men are the number one highest threat to women and children. If you've seen throughout this video, I've put a not all men / not all women thing up here. You see it, don't miss it, don't ignore it, because I'm not talking about all men. I'm talking about the men who are capable of violence. If that's not you, please move around. And I'm talking about the type of men that women consider when choosing the bear. So if that's not you, please move around and talk to the women in your life as to why they would pick a bear over a man when you know you're not like that. I've put a not all men umbrella over this video, so nobody should be telling me not all men, not all men. We understand that. I understand that. Trust me. Now let's get back to the point. Like I said, human males are the highest threats to women and children, even to other men. And there are people that are mainly men who refuse to admit that. When you're bragging and, you know, doing all this about protecting women, like, we protect y'all, we have to protect y'all. Who are you protecting us from? Think about that and leave your answer in the comments. What do women need protection from? Let's move on. There are follow-up videos to this original one where men were asked if they would rather leave their daughters alone in the woods with a bear or a man, and they all said that they would prefer to leave their daughters alone in the woods with a bear than another man. That told me, or I interpreted that as, y'all know, you just won't say anything about it. You won't say anything, you won't speak up, it's serious, okay. And that is one thing about some men that really gives me the ick. It gives me such an ick because it's unattractive. It's like, ugh. I don't have respect for those type of guys. You see the truth right in front of you, and because it's your boy or your brother or something, like your friend, you won't say anything about it. You just allow it to continue. The good men are too quiet. You're too quiet, but you keep asking for a reward for not being a bad guy. You keep asking for a reward, for some recognition, for some acknowledgement, for just being a halfway decent human being. Just because you specifically don't harm women doesn't mean you're not around people who harm women. Doesn't change the fact that you need to speak up when somebody that's around you is harming women. All that, none of my business, none of my business. It makes you complicit, and it makes you part of the problem. And that's why some people believe it's all men. But refer to this. The way some men are is a perfect example of something that I read about a couple years ago called homosocial enactment. And when we talk about men, it just means that they function in relation to the gaze of their male peers and authority. Some men find more comfort in manhood than they do in just being a good person or just doing the right thing. That's what I'm talking about. You know what's right, you know what's wrong, but when something that's wrong is happening, that's when you want to play mute. You want to do a Beyonce mute challenge. Say something about it, because then people know that you don't stand for that. And then we can tell the weed apart from the good plants. We can tell the good from the bad, the one we can stay away from. But if you're too quiet about it, you allow it to continue. So those are the points that I feel like we shouldn't overlook in our outrage, as the concept of choosing a bear over a man is out of the realm of understanding to a lot of you. Let's not focus on the extreme, exaggerated rhetoric that was employed here. Let's just focus on the point that it was trying to make. That's all I came here to say. There's a reason that the interviewer asked this question the way that he did, and there's a reason why the women answered the way that they did. Alright, we have reached the point of the video where I'll be giving my answer to this question. Would I rather be stuck in the woods with a bear or a man? Gun, gun. I know that from everything that I've just said, you all would think that I would pick the bear. Watitani. I am picking the man. I'll rather be stuck in the woods with a man because the scenario for me needs to end with me being alive. That's why I'll be picking the man, because I like my chances of killing the man before he kills me. I feel like my chances of defeating a bear if it wants to harm me are much lower than my chances are of defeating a man if he wanted to harm me. I don't have a lot of experience with dealing with wild animals in nature. I've never encountered. All I do is walk. Oh my god, beautiful trees. Oh, look at waterfall. That's all I know. I don't know anything about dealing with wild animals. I've heard that the bear might not even care that you're there. I don't know how far that is true. I've heard from people who seem like they're, they are used to it, and a bear would not harm you unless you're like playing with his baby, or unless you're doing something crazy, or if it feels threatened and all that. More of like instinctual survival instincts. So I don't know, honestly, I don't know. I'd rather not be in that situation. I'd rather be in a situation with the guy, because for me, like, I think I would try my hardest, because I'm not dying. I'll try my hardest to, fight that guy, and I think I would enjoy it. I have no experience with dealing with wild animals, but if it was that I was accepting death, I would prefer for the bear to do the honors, okay? I feel like a lot of people are picking the bear because they already have it in their mind that they're going to be unalived. So they're picking the best way to go out in their mind. I don't believe the bear can be as imaginative as a man would when unaliving someone, when its aim is to unalive someone. If the bear wants to harm you, maybe it's because it's feeling threatened, maybe because it's just an apex predator. It's likely going to just, kill you and be done with it. They don't, apparently, from what I've heard, kill for sport. But we have plenty evidence that when a man wants to kill you, he wants to enjoy your suffering. He wants to torture you. He wants to essay you. Whether it's pre or posthumous, some of them want you to be so afraid and get you to this height of fear. That's when they want to now, end it. Some people will tell you that they want you to beg them for death. That I'm sorry. I don't need all that. I don't need all that. Just scratch my face. Just kill me in one go. Like, I don't want any of that. Like, please. So I feel like that's why, another reason why a lot of, because men have a track record of being extremely deranged and imaginative and creative when they are unaliving both men, women, or children. That's one thing to think about. But for me, my fear of men hasn't gotten to the point where I want to face a bear. I'm so sorry. Me and that man, we will put our leg in the same trouser. It's either you or me, and I'm picking me, okay? I am picking myself, okay? We died there. I will bathe in that man's blood happily before I allow him to unalive me. I get back, I know they walk alone. Nobody. Like, girls, ladies, don't come for me, because I'm sorry, I'll pick the guy. I'll pick the man because I feel like I can kill the guy somehow and I will enjoy it. I made a video like a couple years ago titled Men Scare Me. It was a video diary. But my fear has not reached where I want to face bear. As difficult as it will be to kill that man, I feel like the bear will be difficulter. Okay, so let me choose the lesser of two evils. I will always stand on business and in solidarity with women, like 100%. But I have to say the truth as it's true for me, without feeling like people are going to be calling me a pick-me or whatever. I'm picking the guy based on the reasons that I've told you all. Okay, and it's not like we're being specific, like, is it panda bear, is it kung fu panda, or is it Winnie the Pooh, or are we talking about apex predators like polar bears, grizzly bears, black bears, brown bears? Those motherfuckers are scary, okay? And it won't be as much fun to be, I'll be fighting for my life, like to the highest order, than if I was to you know, fight for my life with the guy. I understand the sentiment, don't get me wrong, I understand the sentiment, but please, I'll pick the man. Okay guys, that's it for the video, but the conversation is not over. Please, let's continue it down in the comment section below. Thank you so much for making it this far. Like the video if you like the video, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you can get notified anytime I upload another video. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one.